My husband and son both lied to me. I'm 34 and my husband is 36 and we've been married for 12 years. A few weeks ago, my husband said that he has seen another woman handle situations that he didn't think I would be able to. I tried to talk to him about why it bothered me and he just told me it was a passing comment and I shouldn't take it so seriously. That he had meant it to simply compliment her by saying she was handling so much on her own and he was impressed by it. You can't compliment someone by bringing someone else down. That's like a dig. That's not a compliment then, you know? That's like saying, imagine if your man is bald and you're like, wow, that guy has a really nice set of hair. You can never grow a set of hair like that. I told him it was completely unnecessary and hurtful to compare her to me to compliment her. That's what I said. He told me I was being unreasonable and jealous and that he didn't mean anything by it. After that, he didn't say anything else about it, so I dropped it. Then yesterday, when I came home from work and saw a pair of women's Fendi glasses on our kitchen island, kind of hidden by our fruit bowl, I picked them up and asked my husband whose they were. He looked confused and was like, "Aren't they yours?" I said, "No." Our older son, 11, is sitting at the table and goes, "Oh, those are my friend Allison's. I took them home by accident." I was immediately suspicious. These are very expensive glasses, and I know Allison's mother, and she doesn't seem like the type to let her child bring something worth that much money into school. My son kept insisting they were hers, and he had just taken them home accidentally on the bus, and he'd return them to her tomorrow. But I said no, and that I'd return them to her mother in person so I could make sure they got to them safely. When I spoke to Allison's mother, she confirmed that they weren't Allison's, and that neither she nor her daughter owned sunglasses like that. When I told my son and my husband this, they both feigned ignorance. My son went from saying that he could have sworn they were Allison's to, well, maybe not. Maybe I don't know whose they are. And then my husband said that he does remember taking the sunglasses out of our son's backpack when he was getting out his lunch stuff. Then my younger son, 9, just came home and recognized the sunglasses. They are Noelle's, the woman he helps out sometimes, the one he told me to not be upset that he compares me to her. I'm going to confront him when he gets home. I don't know what to say to him. I feel as though I'm going to immediately burst into tears. Can someone please give me advice on what to say? And also just general advice, please. I never thought I would be in this situation. Oh my God. Okay, there's an update, but I don't think I want to read the update. My youngest son, 9, ended up identifying the sunglasses. When he got home, my husband admitted they were Noelle's. She has been over there while I was at work. My husband has not realized they were hers. He thought they were mine, which is why he didn't move them. My older son realized whose they were immediately, which is why he lied about them. He knew I was going to find it all out and was trying to cover. My youngest son recognized them because apparently they have all gone with Noelle numerous places on my husband's days off while I was at work. I don't know what he told my older son, but he told my youngest not to tell me about Noelle and her son hanging out with them because I would feel bad about being left out because I was at work. Oh my God, this is so fucked up on so many different levels. I returned the glasses to Noelle, who seemed horrified. She was under the assumption I knew about their hangouts. I asked her why did she think I would be okay with this. She looked really confused and told me why would I care if we were separated anyway. Ding, 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 there's the light. Found it. Oh my God, that makes me so sad. I told her we absolutely were not separated. We were very much still together. Apparently, my husband told her we had not been together except for cohabitating and co-parenting for months now. I confronted my husband with this information and he didn't deny it. He apologized but said he had developed feelings for Noelle but didn't want to risk our marriage until he knew if they were true feelings or just attraction. He left the house. Noelle wants nothing to do with him because now she knows the truth. He lied to her as well and she's furious. I'm speaking to a lawyer today. I'm not going to speak with him again except through lawyers since I don't have anything else to say to him. Oh my God, I'm so glad Noelle isn't one of those girls who are like, he left me for you, whatever. I'm glad she was able to see through the manipulation that if he can lie to his mother of his children, his wife that he's living with 2 sons, he'll lie to her too in the future. So, oh my God, makes me sad.
Am I the asshole for pranking my girlfriend on my buddy's birthday? Now, I, 26 male, have been friends with the same group of guys since we were kids. We are all extremely close with one another. One of the things you need to know about us is that we are all bonded by a shared sense of humor. We are huge fans of doing pranks on one another, and we have our own games and inside jokes. The best way to describe us is we're like this friend group in the movie Tag, parentheses, 2018. Now, recently recently, one of my buddies, let's call him Jackson, 28 male, got into a car accident. He's partly recovered, but he's still taking some rest and he's been kind of down in the dumps. His birthday was coming up, so we wanted to cheer him up because we hate seeing our friends like that. So we got the idea of pranking my girlfriend because she's really posh and prissy, so her reaction would be great. And the prank we had in mind would knock his socks off. As kids, we used to play this game called Pizza Roulette. We'd order a large pizza, put each slice on 8 different plates, either face up or face down randomly, and then each of us would be blindfolded and have to take one of the slices and flip the plate over on another one, and then hold it up like a sandwich to eye level. If both of the bread slices were facing outwards, then congratulations, you got a calzone. Enjoy. If the bottom was sauced down, but the top was bread up, then it was kind of funny because they picked up the wet side. But if the sauce side was up, then the guy sitting next to you smashes the whole thing in your face. We used to have tons of fun, and Jackson loved the game. So Jackson's birthday comes. We blindfold my girlfriend and rig it so that she gets the pizza face up, and we do it successfully. But she gets really mad and leaves. Now the guys are annoyed because she ruined the vibe of Jackson's party, but some of the girlfriends in the group said what we did was wrong. I thought it was funny at first, but am I the asshole?
Story time about how my best friend wants me to hook up with her boyfriend. Disclaimer, this is not my story time. I was studying me on Instagram. First, you have to understand how close I am to my best friend. We met in first grade. Since then, we've basically turned into the same person. We almost dress identical. We got the same hairstylist, same colorist. We always get our nails done the exact same way. And we pretty much did everything at the same time. We got our periods 1 week apart. We even got braces at the same time. Parents are really good friends as well. We live about 2 houses away from each other, so we do see each other every single day. And this has been happening for the past 18 years. But we are so different in personality. She has no fear of anything, and she can be pretty reckless at times. I'm really careful and I worry about everything. I have extreme respect for my parents. I love spending time with my parents. We'll watch movies and cook together. That's my perfect night. Whereas she just wants to party and get away from her parents. Like, oh, she got a new boyfriend and I didn't like him from the beginning. He's constantly pressuring her into doing things. She ended up getting a tattoo with him, which she didn't want. He also made her get a piercing on her belly button. She just does whatever this guy says. I especially hate the way he looks at me. I honestly try not to hang out with him because of the way he looks at me. My best friend asked me if I would be willing to do it with him. Now she's pressuring me. Part 2 is my best friend is pressuring me into doing it with her boyfriend. Disclaimer, is not my story time instead of me on Instagram. She just straight up asked me if I would be willing to do it with him. I answered right away and said absolutely not. Then she started pressuring me. This was unthinkable to me. I couldn't believe that my best friend was talking to me this way. That's when I told her what I really thought about her boyfriend. I think he's an abusive narcissist, pressuring her into doing things she doesn't want, and now asking her to ask me if I want to do it with him. That is disgusting and sick. She started to cry and told me the truth. Her boyfriend pressures her into getting other girls to sleep with him. And if she doesn't get him a new girl every single week, this man threatens to break up with her. By the way, my best friend and I are 18. This guy is 26. The power dynamic is completely off. Of course, I told her to break up with him, but she says she's in love. Then she went back to pressuring me into doing it. Then I threatened to cut her off if she kept insisting. I asked her to leave my house and she did. Guess what happened after that? Not 10 minutes later, I get a phone call from her boyfriend. As soon as I answer, he starts abusing me over the phone. This man called me the C word. He said that I was the narcissistic one. My best friend went and told him everything I said. And he told me to be careful. I had to do something about it. Part 3 is up. My best friend's boyfriend is trying to force me to do it with him. Disclaimer, is not my story time instead of me on Instagram. After he threatened me on the phone, he told me that if I didn't do it with him, that he would hurt my best friend. Then he hung up the phone. I instantly knew what I had to do. I ran and told my parents. There was no way I was going to let this guy force himself on me or hurt my best friend more than he already has. At this point, my best friend is getting him girls every single week. I told my parents that very night what was happening, and they jumped into action. They told my best friend's parents everything. The very next day, we all went to their house and asked her to break up with him. She started to cry and told us that she loved him and that she was going to continue getting girls for her boyfriend. Her parents explained to her how this could be illegal because if she got somebody that was too young, this could turn out to be really bad for her. That very same night, she moved in with her boyfriend. She basically ran away from her parents' house, and she didn't tell me anything about it. Parents contacted the police department and told them everything that was happening. That's when they told my parents that there was a warrant out for this guy. The police went and arrested him, and she had to come back home. Now my best friend won't talk to me, but he actually broke up with her. 2 days later, we find out he had another girlfriend who was pregnant. It's been about a week, and my best friend still cries over him. She refuses to see me and doesn't even take my phone calls. Should I let the friendship go, or should I keep trying? I do feel bad though, but at the same time, I knew that that relationship would escalate into no good. She unfollowed me on Instagram and started telling people what I did, but mostly everyone's telling her I was right. What should I do?
I'm the bad guy for demanding to get my own car for my 16th birthday. I've been taking driver's lessons for a month now and I'm getting really good. And I'll easily get my license once I'm 16. I live with my dad and my stepmom and her 2 daughters. My dad and his wife have been together for almost 2 years now, and both of my stepsisters have their own cars that were gifts from their dad. My stepmother also has her own car, and they decided that having 4 cars was way too much, so my dad sold his after we all moved in together. He works from home, so he didn't really need it much. He has to ask permission before he uses his wife's car. My dad can barely manage to use my stepmom's car. What chance will I? And I doubt my stepsisters would allow me to use theirs, and they barely even use their cars because their boyfriends drive them everywhere. Dad could purchase the car if he wanted to. It's only fair for me to have the same accommodations that my stepsisters have. Therefore, I've been demanding to have my own car for my next birthday. Dad says there's not space for another car and I don't need one. And I'm way too young. It says the stepsisters having a car was not a decision by him. My stepsisters suggest that I should just get a boyfriend with a car. I've been arguing with my family a lot about this and you won't listen to me anymore. I'm the asshole for not inviting my brother's girlfriend to my wedding. My brother and I have always been really close and we grew up doing everything together. When I got engaged, I was thrilled to have him as my best man. However, there's one issue. My brother's girlfriend of 2 years, who he's been living with for the past 6 months, has never been really friendly towards me. I couldn't put a finger on what it was, but she just didn't like me much. When it came to sending out wedding invitations, my brother asked if his girlfriend was invited. I hesitated in the moment, but told him unfortunately we had to keep it small and we're only inviting close friends and family. My brother was very upset and we got into a bit of an argument about it. He accused me of not respecting the relationship and saying that I treated his girlfriend unfairly. I tried to explain that it wasn't personal, we just had limited space and had to make some tough choices. In the end, my brother came to the wedding without his girlfriend. However, once it was over, we got into a fight and he accused me of being selfish and not valuing his relationship. I tried to explain that it wasn't personal, but he just wouldn't listen. So was that bad guy here?